Peace, brothers and sisters, and welcome back to the channel. Today on Single Dad Experience, I'm gonna be talking about my first year with my kids without their mom. Now, this was the beginning to the greatest thing that ever happened to me as far as me having my babies, me seeing my daughter being born. That's the top-notch greatest feeling outside of me having my babies. And I tell you, it was the scariest moment and the most exciting moment of my life, because I had two that depended on me for everything, and I was prepared for that. And I believe truly deep in my heart that I needed them just as much as they needed me, because having my babies taught me to have patience with myself. I'm talking about a lot of patience with myself, and then have patience with them, knowing that they're gonna come to me for everything. It's not like they're going to their moms no more. They coming to me, and I didn't understand none of this stuff only because she was there most of the time when they did all that whining and crying. So, most of us men, we don't have that nurturing side in us. We more the protective and the provider. So we more hunter-gatherers than teachers and nurturers, if that make any sense. But when you have to become all of that in one body, I look at my mom as the greatest example of that, because she had two boys and one girl. And she's a pretty strong woman to handle two boys. So me having one boy and one girl, I had to get into my emotions with my daughter, but I had to also be tough on my daughter like I would be on my son. But then I had to be a little emotional with my son as well, because he is a boy. But I can't be sweet and nice to my daughter and be hard and mean to him. So I had to learn how to give equal love and receive equal love from both of them. Because my daughter, she not a hugger, but my son like to hug all the time. So they personalities I had to learn. Like, my daughter is more like me. Like, I'm not gonna really let you get close to me until I feel comfortable with you. My son, he more like, shit, the hell with it, man. If you like me, I like you. I'm going in head first. And learning two different personalities. My son, he eats a lot of everything other than pork. My daughter don't eat too much of anything. So I had to cook two different plates of food every night until I learned that they both liked the common thing, which was chicken nuggets and fries. So every time I went to the store, it was chicken nuggets and fries. But then in between, my daughter liked carrots. So I learned how to substitute a lot of stuff, add vegetables, fruits, and stuff into their diet. And it was cool. It was so fucking, it's cool learning about your babies without having somebody over your shoulder trying to tell you how to do something, or what you should do or what you shouldn't do. Like, I didn't have the interference of their moms to dictate to them if I said something that she's gonna come back and say, fuck what he say, do what I say. So that was easy on my end of the stick. And to any of you fellas out there who's in my same situation, man, leave a comment down below, man. Let us know how you made it through, your first, like, how tough was it for you? And you know what I'm saying? We can elaborate on that on the channel someday. You know what I'm saying? Like, brothers, sisters, man, we need to all support each other. Because if you look at other cultures and other other colors, they all work together other than us. We always turn our back on each other. I don't give a damn who we are. You got maybe 5% of black people who got this big ass heart that you'll never see it because they keep getting stomped in every time they try to help somebody. So people like that, they tend to cover that heart. And then you got some that just heart is so big that they don't care how many times they got stomped in, they still love. And you got to give them the utmost respect, man. There's not too many of us that's like that, especially when it comes to our own people. And that bothers me because we really don't have each other back like we should. And man, it's fucked up, bro. But anyway, I definitely had to learn how to make a time for them. So I'll pick them up from school. I'll take them to daycare, pick them up from daycare. But I had to go to work. So before I went to work, I dropped them off at daycare. Then I'll get them as soon as I get out of work. So it's like my whole schedule had to be around them. And once I learned that, it was the most beautiful thing in the world. Because my babies were so excited to see me get them from daycare. Then it also was a little stressful because my babies used to always ask me, Daddy, where mommy at? Daddy, do mommy love us? Daddy, why mommy not around? Daddy, 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 daddy. And that used to stress me out a whole lot. Because sometimes you can't answer those questions without trying to sugarcoat something. And because they were so young, I don't feel like I have to tell them nothing really because it really wasn't their business, but they wanted to know where their mom was at. So sometimes I used to tell them like, oh, mommy, she went to Uncle Troy's house, or mommy got to handle something. She works overnight all the time. And, after a while, my baby stopped asking about her. And that's when I realized, like, wow, is this what I did with my oldest son? Because I have an oldest son. Shout out to you, Makai Geller. I love my man. But I was so immature back then that I didn't understand how to be a dad. Or a father, whatever you want to call it. I didn't know how to do none of that. So, me having my son and my daughter now, it's a greater understanding or a greater overstanding of that single parent mentality that you gotta have with your babies. Is like, I couldn't do all the things that I could before my kids came. So I couldn't be out with the fellas because I had to take my kids with me. Which means that eliminates me from chilling with these people that obviously wasn't no good for me. Then the more I told some of these people I couldn't come around because I have my kids, the less I seen of them. So that right there just let me know in a nutshell, the Creator put my babies in my life for a reason. And it wasn't just because I was a great provider for them, but I had a greater purpose in their lives. And they had a greater purpose in my life. And you know that old saying goes, people come and go in your life for a reason. And the people that left out my life was the people that obviously wasn't no good for me, and I obviously wasn't no good for them, because I don't see none of these people that I used to see. I don't chill with none of these people I used to chill. You know what I'm saying? When I was doing my little hustling thing, everybody in the world wanted to be around me. Once the hustling thing stopped, you don't see people as much as you did before. So I'm content with that part of my life being gone. I'm content with being a full-time dad, taking care of my babies, going to my job, getting off of work, picking my kids up from school. Like, I'm content with all of that. It used to be times I used to be so stressed out and cry so fucking hard because I didn't understand how do you just turn your back on your children. And then not just turn your back, but then how do you allow outside people to dictate what's going on with the way your babies is being taken care of? Because I never put my babies in harm's way. I would never just drop my kids off at somebody's house and just go skeet off and fuck all these different people. Like, I didn't believe in that because I seen shit like that happen. So I had to learn a lot of things I couldn't do no more. Which, like I said, man, the Creator gave me a chance to redeem myself as a man when He put both of my babies in my possession as they care, giver. And not because I'm their father, but when I messed up with my oldest son and I wasn't there for him, I had a 10-year span before I had my two children now. And then even with that, going through the stuff with, the state, going through the stuff with, going to court with my kid's mom, it's so much that it built my character up to this point. And